From Winnetka Ice Arena, we are live for the SHL Championship on the SHL Network right here on YouTube Live. Good evening, everybody, and welcome into tonight's broadcast alongside Wes Anderson, Dylan Ward down at ice level. I'm Max Anderson. A little bit late getting going, so we're going to send it right down to ice level where Dylan Ward standing by with Loyola Gold assistant head coach Dustin Lockwood. Dylan.
Thank you, Max. Coach, welcome back to the SHL Final. 2 years ago, you guys swept New Trier Green 2-0 in the championship. This year, just the one game. How does that make preparation for the game different?
It doesn't change things too much. I mean, with these two teams, the rivalry, every game is so intense, so it amplifies it a little bit, but I mean, we're focused on this year and this one game. So.
Charlie Bane's been one of your leaders, has 7 points through 4 SHL playoff games and 5 points in 3 games against New Trier Green. What are you looking out of him tonight?
Consistency. I mean, we know what we're going to get out of him. He's proven it all season long. You know, he's one of the best players in the entire state, so I have no doubt that he'll show up tonight.
All right, thanks so much. Good luck. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Dylan. Obviously, in big games, you look for your biggest players, and I'll bring in Wes Anderson. You talk about Charlie Bane, second in the SHL in points, tied for second in goals. In the biggest games, Dustin Lockwood talked about, you look for your biggest players.
Yeah, 21 goals through 30 games in the regular season. They're going to look heavy to number 95 in yellow tonight to bring some of that offense, and they're going to need it. We see number 31, Wyatt Schmidt, going to the net for New Trier Green. Unbelievable numbers for not only him, but also Charlie Roche here tonight. So expect these offenses to be flying high and mighty here tonight.
So we'll step aside as the SHL awards are being announced and turn it over to our public address announcer, Robert Crable. Welcome back to the broadcast. Max Anderson, Wes Anderson, Dylan Ward on hand for the SHL Championship. Pre-game festivities now over, and we're getting closer to puck drop here on the SHL Network. Wyatt Schmidt in goal tonight for New Trier. These two goaltenders for New Trier have gone 1-1 all season long, 15 starts apiece. That continues tonight. The one difference, Wes, this is the first time Wyatt Schmidt's faced Loyola. It was Dirtoff that had all three Loyola games.
Max, not too often does the second team goaltender not get the nod here tonight. Just goes to show you how great this two-headed monster in net is for New Trier Green. Wyatt Schmidt, 11-2-2 in the regular season with 3 shutouts, a goals against average below 2. You mentioned it. He hasn't faced his Loyola Gold team, but he is definitely up to the task. Excited to see what he's going to bring here tonight.
How about a 150 goals against average in the SHL playoffs through 4 games and a .944 save percentage for Schmidt.
Yeah, it's been a potent 1-2 punch in net for Loyola. Meanwhile, New Trier. Meanwhile, on the other side, Loyola, Charlie Trapp has been a freshman that has taken the league by storm. We saw him early in the season. He doesn't look like a freshman. He doesn't act like a freshman. Doesn't play like a freshman. He's in a huge spot here tonight.
Calm, cool, and collected is Mr. Trapp, #1 in yellow tonight. And Max, you hit the nail on the head. He does not look like a freshman. You can see his stats right there. 25 games played, 25 starts, and again, sub 2 goals against average, 1.61 throughout the SHL play for him. And they're going to look to him here early. You know, New Trier is going to bring the heat. They've got their home crowd with them. Loyola does too, but they're on home ice, so expect something big out of both goalies here early.
Loyola, New Trier for the SHL Championship, and we are underway live from a absolute capacity Winnetka Ice Arena as Bane carries the puck in, gets a quick shot in on the logo of Wyatt Schmidt. He swallows it up just 11 seconds into the game.
Yeah, you can see a little extracurriculars already going on after the whistle. Charlie Bane, he does a nice little skate off to the right. Couldn't tell who he got a nice little chop from the green side, but you can tell, as you mentioned, the capacity crowd, the tension. You could cut it with a knife in here. So expect both these crowds to get in it early. Expect both teams to be physical. Excited to see what this game has to bring for us tonight.
Face-off draw to the come to the left of Wyatt Schmidt. Mikey Baker and David Wolf once more. It's tied up and taken away by Michael Pedraja. Now a big hit up high. Huge collisions at the blue line. The band arms stay down. We'll play 5-on-5. Matt Klein with the puck. He puts it deep. Chopped up by Randall. Mikey Baker comes to support the puck, but Randall once more flips it out of the zone towards Miller. Randall once more behind his own goal. Carried through the neutral zone by Randall. He hesitates at the blue line, almost puts Wolf off sides. Now Steele checks a man along the far half wall, slowing down the rush. Digging out of the corner, Randall trying to turn. He's parallel with the goal. Flips in towards Trapp, but never actually got to him. Been having some internet issues all night here at Winnetka. Of course, the Storms at one point knocked out the Wi-Fi. Now a chance here for Friel. He spins, he scores! Ashton Friel picks up the puck, beats Trapp short side. It's 1-0 early.
Friel just aimlessly comes off the wall, and you can see it. We're going to get a replay here in a second. Charlie Trapp thought he had that. Spin move, lifts off the shot, and get a great look at the goalie cam from behind the net, and just able to beat Trapp to that glove side. You can see the exasperation on his face as he puts his head down, thinking he should have got that. But New True Green is off and running here less than 2 minutes into this game.
Wes, I'll take a little bit of blame there. The announcer's jinx singing Charlie Trapp's praises, and I think he would be the first to tell you he'd want that one back.
Hey, he's a great goaltender. You know, we sometimes, we got the goalie on the broadcast here. Sometimes we have an early goal, wakes you up a little bit. Wouldn't be surprised to see him bounce back in a positive way here in the first period.
Just before that goal was mentioning, we've been having internet issues all evening long here from Winnetka. We will do our best to keep you live. We were looking forward to really the full power of our new computer, allowing us to stream in very high quality. We've been battling the internet all night, so we'll do the best we can. Now back up top the point, flipped in, hits a number of bodies on its way to goal. Charlie Merrill trying to sweep it to the corner. Now Chong giving chase. Now Merrill will be able to clear. He misses everybody. That'll be an icing.
Guys, that goal by New Trier is so important. Ashton Friel led this team in goals in the regular season. But when you look at New Trier's goals per period, they're averaging just about 1 per game in the first period, which is not a lot, as they've got 47 goals in the second, 41 in the third. So big start for the Trevians.
Face off to the left of Trapp. Steele takes it behind the cage. Now with it's Gavin Orzakowski. Orzakowski stretch pass. Peter Lechnicki got slowed up through the neutral zone. He chases the dump. Orzakowski can't keep it in. Back the other way comes Connor Herstritt. Herstritt flips it deep. Chong on the forecheck on the near half wall. It's kind of one little bit of a blind spot here at Winnetka Ice Arena. Down to our left, can't really see very much. We've got Joel Schneider on that corner cam. He'll give us some good looks down there from our left.
It's the beauty of the short ceiling in here. It gets loud, gets intense, but that's the one back draw is that the pillar's right in our way, but we'll do our best to keep the fans informed when the puck goes down that area.
Steele absorbs a check, plays it forward, finds Lechnicki. He puts it deep, but right onto the stick of Luke Chu. Chong and Orzakowski come together, exchange the puck through the neutral zone. That was played by the high stick of Julian Gabal, so that's going to be an offensive zone draw coming for the Trevians.
Dylan, you highlighted the goal differential for the Trevians in the first period. 17-2-0 when scoring first, so although they're only averaging that one goal, as you mentioned, they like to get off and running here in the first period. Such a hard team to really come back on it. And we know they're the top team in the SHL, top team in the state, but it just makes it even harder to beat them when they get that opening goal.
Yeah, West 4 regulation losses in the regular season for the SHL, finish with a 25-4-1 regular season record, add a 4-0 playoffs so far to that.
We were on hand for one of those losses. It was to this Loyola team. And one of the more dominating matchups I've ever seen in this matchup is a 5-0 win for Loyola all the way back on October 29th. Everything went right for the Ramblers that night. Here's a shot from a sharp angle, misses the net from Jake Pereno. Outside of the net, battling for it, trying to get another shot off was Finnegan. Bounces to the far half wall where LaRue has to backskate. Now Miller comes forward. Miller, the hero in game number 2 this season. He had the shootout winner in the 4th round back in mid-December. Now a bunch of bodies on the ice there for Loyola. I was counting them up. Looks like the arms stay down, but could have almost been too many men on the ice.
Yeah, fortunately that bounced down into the visitors bench down there. Dylan, I can see you down there. Watch out and hope you don't catch too many pucks coming your way. You might have to flash the leather with that left hand to keep yourself safe down there.
Yeah, Wes, that was far enough away that I didn't have to flinch, but we'll have to see as the night progresses.
It's a hazard job down there. I know, Wes, you can well support and understand that.
Yeah, keep your head on your swivel down there, Dylan.
Mikey Baker absorbs the check from Hans Huber. Shot that one over the cage of Wyatt Schmidt. Still bouncing around. Saw that several times. A bit of rough ice. It was a hot, humid day today. Sometimes you could see the ice be a little bit choppier than normal. And then that nasty storm that rolled through. We had about a 10-minute delay in that AHL final game earlier tonight. Bane forces the turnover, trying to get a backhand shot on, but quickly steered aside by Wolf. Now battle along the near half wall. Matt Klein was able to keep it in for a moment, but carried out by Wolf. Nutrier comes on 3-on-2. Wolf trying to create some space. Drops it to Pedraja. Not any further than the stick of Matt Klein. Here's Finnegan. His older brother Aiden, coaching the Loyola Maroon team, suffered a 5-4 loss in the first AHL final, the Academic Cup. Of course, these two teams playing for the coveted Scholastic Cup. One of these two teams has won the last 8 Scholastic Cups. It'll make it 9 this year. Will it be New Trier? It'll be their 6th in 9 years. For Loyola, it would be 4th in 9 years. Here's Hennigan. Hennigan skates wide. Sharp angle, turned aside by Trapp. Kept in nicely by Nolan. He swats it back towards goal. Aiden Nolan quietly going about his business, but in the playoffs, 6 goals for Aiden Nolan. He was the leading point getter. His step off sides is Loyola. He was the leading point getter for Aiden, was Aiden Nolan, but only 9th in the league.
Yeah, man, let's talk about the SHL championships over the last 8 seasons. I think you might have been counting the time in 2015. Nutri-Green and GBN were co-champions. So in terms of pure SHL titles, these teams are deadlocked at 4 apiece. And after tonight, one of them will be the all-time leader in SHL championships over the years.
That's what's at stake here tonight. Could be a potential preview of a matchup at the United Center in just about 2 weeks. Now Nolan trying to get the puck from between his skates. Quick outlet pass, DJ Long. He'll dump it deep. Send a couple of forecheckers in on the chase. Tommy Messina among them. Bounces out to Messina, high slot. Now to Merrill. Far circle, tries a backhanded pass to no one in particular. DJ Long in the corner. Back to the point. Sam Walker's shot gets deflected to the half wall. And cleared. Icing gets waved right at the last moment, so we'll play on. Nolan giving chase. Nolan tries a centering pass, but it was behind Chong. Now speed comes Gabal. Gabal up the right wing. Centering pass, but his mates were on for a change, so nobody there for the Ramblers. Chong a quick out to Herstrit. He misses Chu. And Pereno with the puck. Spends a piece of firewood now on the ice. John Dwyer has the puck taken off his stick. Randall trying to press forward. Game starting to settle into a rhythm here after the goal just about a minute and a half into the first period. no real high-quality chance for either team the last couple of minutes.
Had a feeling this would happen out the get-go, Max, but both teams coming out with a lot of energy, a lot of pace in the first 2 minutes.
Schritt, cross-ice Chong, puck bouncing all over the place, taking a wild swing, and it was Chu. Now the arm goes up. It's going to be a penalty against Loyola. Sixth attacker gets on the ice for the Trevians on his Wolf. A shot blocked and cleared, touched by Pereno. First power play of the game will go to New Trier.
Max, you highlighted to talk about the humidity. It really makes the ice choppy. The puck starts bouncing. I think that's what the culprit is here. I can't tell who the actual player for Loyola that's going to the bench, but it looks like he was trying to tip that puck up. Instead, might have caught a New Trier Green player in the face-neck area, and that's why he's going to go sit down for two. But a great chance here for New Trier Green to extend their lead.
New Trier on the SHL season at 24.7% power play, which in the high-flying SHL is only good for third. For Loyola, though, the number one penalty kill in the SHL, 89%, almost 5% clear second place on the SHL season. That penalty kill all season long has been elite.
No surprise that Charlie Trapp, one of the best goaltenders, too, is that spearheads this penalty kill for the Ramblers.
Isn't that what they say? Your best penalty killer's got to be your goaltender.
Hey, you know the goalie on the broadcast is always going to say that, Max, so I 100% agree with you.
There's one clear just 30 seconds into the power play. Johan Yasin brings the puck up for the Trevians. Randall trying to weave through space. He'll drop it deep. Fisk giving chase on the forecheck. Oh, what a piece of hand-eye coordination. Looked like it was played by a high stick. No call. It'll be cleared. Schmidt out to play it as Bane was looking to get something done shorthanded. On comes Hennigan up the left wing. Hennigan will stop, turn, look for some space. Will Steele immediately in his face, forces it deep. Cooper Nelson puts the pressure on. Hennigan tries to go cross ice, but the active stick of Steele breaks it up. Bane trying to catch up with it. Yasin with a nice job not to let him get any farther than center ice. Halfway through this first period, it's a 1-0 New Trier lead on a point-blank goal from Ashton Friel, just a minute and a half into the game. You can see the players really just trying to get the puck flat on the ice. Now Nolan with speed. He goes between his legs. What a move, and a big save from Trapp to keep it out.
And really, that's the only way that this New Trier Green team has really been able to drive any offense. You see, they have that. Loyola has that initial forward in the neutral zone, and then three Ramblers are back on the blue line. Really makes that zone entry very difficult for the Trevians.
Now in the corner, the final couple of seconds here of the power play, and penalty successfully killed off by the Ramblers. Fresh out of the box. It was Bane that was looking to cherry pick, but New Trier almost came away with the opportunity. There's Savino, takes a big wind and gets it deep. Of course, Jack Savino had a injury just about this time this last year. Knocked him out of the remainder of the playoffs. I know I've gotten a chance to talk to him off the ice. He's excited to lead this New Trier Green team. Feels like he needs to earn himself a state championship. Obviously got a ring last year, but missed those last couple games. It's different when you're not a participant in that last game.
Yeah, and I had the pleasure of standing next to him for the majority of that championship game last year, and he was the biggest cheerleader for his team. I know he wants to have a huge impact and lead this Ramblers or this Trevians team back to a state championship.
Here's Nicky point blank, flips it up to Schmidt. Quick rebound, but he drops the glove on it. The offensive zone draw coming for the Ramblers.
Jack Savino, a big fan of ours. He was one of the players at the SHL kickoff event back in October at the barn.
Yeah, it was good to see him. It was quick recovery, too, and certainly the perks of being 17, 18 years old. A little bit quicker recovery. He's already back, and I don't believe he missed any time this season after that knee injury in March.
Yeah, I think
it's 26 games played out of 30 in the regular season, so probably just a healthy scratch once or twice.
Huge part of the back line, and really leader, captain is Jack Savino. Back to 5-on-5 play as Chu tries to drop it down the half wall, but Merrill has it out of the zone. He gets slew-footed. That's going to be a trip against Charlie Fisk. Honestly, a crafty play there by Merrill. I'm not going to say he let himself get tripped, but
And Max
certainly earned it.
Not many times do you see the player who gets the penalty go straight into the penalty box. Fisk knew it right away. Merrill, one of those cheeky plays, but you got to know what you're doing. You go there to try and generate some contact, and he did, and leads to the Ramblers with their first power play opportunity of the night.
We gave you the Ramblers and New Trier penalty kill and power play respectively. Flip it around for Loyola, 6th in power play at 21.7%. Meanwhile, New Trier, that second place penalty kill at 85.9%. Point blank chance. Oh, the puck just slides by Bane and back out into the neutral zone. Hops into the New Trier bench. We get a neutral zone draw.
Yeah, we talk about the humidity. You can see right there, Bane was locked and loaded, ready to pull the trigger, but at the last second, puck just takes a bad hop over the stick plate. Almost leads to a little transition coming the other way. I couldn't tell if it was Randall or maybe Nolan had a little bit of room there on that sidewall down there near the bench, but just another great play by the Rambler defense to keep that from going through the neutral zone and down in their defensive end.
Neutral zone Bane. In front of the New Trier bench. Nolan does a good job of disrupting. A foot race. Randall trying to win it. Sipe there to swipe the puck away. Now Sipe with the body, able to separate man from puck. Here comes Charlie Bane. The Loyola Gold captain drops for Sipe. Tries to go around Nolan, but once again dispossesses the puck. Clears it back out in the neutral zone.
Both teams aggressive in the neutral zone on the penalty kill, really forcing the other team to go to one side and then trapping on that side that they force them to go to. Just makes it so hard, as I mentioned before, for zone entry.
Schmidt plays it. Not able to keep it in was Steele, and just losing the puck was Randall, or he would add a 2-on-1. Bane trying a centering pass for Steele. Finnegan trying again for Steele, but misses him. Back to the point, Klein. Ooh, that puck almost went out of the zone. Linesman says no. Now Steele with some space, tries to drag around one. Schmidt able to steer it to the corner. Randall whacks it out of midair. Now Nolan trying to break out. Here's Friel. Friel with space, skates wide. He shoots, just misses the far post. Trap might have been a little overplayed there.
Max, there was a little room on that glove side. That shot did not miss by much.
Baker has his stick lifted, able to get it on to Messina. Baker below the goal. Centering pass, still loose, side of the net. Not able to get a shot off as it's cleared by Hubish.
Great job by the Trivens collapsing in front of their goalie.
9 seconds remain on the power play. Can the Ramblers get one last rush up the ice? Klein finds Messina. DJ Long puts it in, but quickly loses it to Yasin. Now fresh out of the box, just missing his man. That's going to go far enough for icing.
Guys, I'm not a former player, so I don't know how to analyze the ice surface very well, but from what I can see, this is a lot of snow buildup for having 4 minutes left in the first period. It's got to have something to do with that humidity.
It was well chewed up during that AHL final as well. It is a balmy day today. Obviously the storms that rolled through the area. Now we're supposed to get back down into the 20s. That's Chicago for you in February, I suppose. Not the 70-degree part, but certainly the crazy storms. Back to the point, swung across by Walker, but to no one in particular. Puck bouncing around in front of Schmidt. Garvin St. John can't get it any further. LaRue pinches down to keep it alive for the Ramblers. St. John pulls it off the half wall, shoots across the crease, but not on net. Walker plays it back below the goal. Big touch pass and a shot from Gabal. Gets turned aside. Maybe the best look thus far for Loyola. LaRue has the puck played around him. John Curry absorbs a check, able to keep it alive as Fisk. Now below the goal. Point blank chance, whiffing on the shot was Curry. And Loyola's going to be able to clear it. Finnegan was off to the races, but too far for icing.
Ramblers are lucky to come away unscathed there. So we see that puck works its way around, and you see Traps on the wrong side of the net. He tries to recover to the front, and the puck just trickles away from Curry's stick. If not, I think he might have a tap, and we're going to see the play again. You can see Trap over the right side of the net and tries to recover, but Curry doesn't get enough wood on that to put that on net, and the Ramblers are able to walk away without another goal in their net.
Final 3 minutes of this first period. It's been tight, just 6 shots aside so far in this period. The lone goal the way of New Trier. Randall with the puck at the goal line. He's turned aside by Cooper Nelson. Chong a quick about face, trying to clear some space, but Finnegan, Nelson right on their men below the goal. Now some space, backhanded shot, still bouncing around. Somehow finds its way into the chest of Trapp. On the offensive zone draw coming for New Trier.
And there we see the chippiness that we saw off the initial face-off, come back around after that whistle. And it's the 3rd or 4th time we see the Trevians use the back of the net. Talk about that's Gretzky's office, right? He'd sit back there, wait for things to open up in front of the net, and we see them using that net almost as like a screen as those Ramblers defensemen come back around. So they're really using that to try and feed things to the front of the net and cause chaos in front of Trapp.
Face-off won cleanly by the Ramblers, trying to face-off play. Bane almost gets to it just at the last second. Savino slows it down. Now at a sharp angle was Peter Lechnicki. Couldn't get it to the front of the net. Baker forced down to the ice by Wolf. Now 4 bodies come together trying to dig the puck out. That's going to miss everybody. And will it make it far enough for icing? It will.
Talk about the small plays, too. Gets down on the ice, keeps that.
Draw to come to the right as Schmidt. Gets drawn below the goal line. DJ Long plays it across, but misses his intended target. Messina able to keep it in along the far half wall. Trying a centering pass, instead Hennigan. One of the captains for New Trier comes away with it. Here's Nolan. Nolan trying to create space. Active sticks from the Ramblers. Finally a shot. I believe it's Steele that got a piece of it with his knee and deflected up into the netting.
Great job by William Steele to collapse there. I don't think Charlie Trapp saw the release of that shot. Looked like he went down a little bit late, but forward in front of him, 29 in yellow, William Steele able to get that knee on it. And it's like, again, we talk about Jacksonville, little things. They're stopping that puck from entering the zone. William Steele using his body, getting in front of the net, helping his goaltender out.
A lot of experience on these two sides. They've played in big games, and between tonight and what they've got coming up, several big games to come. This puck played in deep, sight below the goal. Out wide to Cole Jobert. 2-on-2 come the Ramblers. Finnegan's going to drop it deep and give Orzechowski a chance on the forecheck. He can't catch up to it in time and flip back out into the neutral zone. Crafty play by Matt Klein to shield Nolan off as he was racing towards the puck.
A few fans thought that might be interference, but we're going to play on.
Jobert, 1-on-3, trying to create space. Is upended at the blue line. Yasin does a nice job turning him aside. Now Hennigan flips it out of the zone, back to the back line where Will Steele and Matt Klein settle things down for the Ramblers. This pass off the stick of Hubish goes right into his own bench. We'll head back into the Trevian zone.
Yeah, Max, you talk about these teams have played each other so many times. It feels like the last, 4 or 5 minutes. It's both teams feeling each other out a little bit as this game continues to progress on, but excited to see what's going to come here in this second period as we start to wind down the first.
You can feel the uneasy tension that's come over this crowd. Haven't been a lot of high-scoring chances. This has been a tight defensive checking game thus far. Here Halfwall trying to keep it in. Steele, he does. Fortunate bounce. Baker can't get a shot off, but we get a whistle for a penalty.
Period's over.
Oh, excuse me. I did not even hear the buzzer. Thank
You know what? Me either. I'm wondering if it's working.
End of one period, a 1-0 score. It was mostly tight. It was a near side goal that got the Trevians on the board. Wes, what have you seen so far?
We've seen both teams, like I just mentioned, filling each other out as you'd expect for two teams that know each other fairly well. And outside of really that one goal that we had to begin the period, there's not much for either team in the offensive zone, right? So both coaching staffs are going to make their adjustments, try and free up some space for their players in that offensive zone, and hopefully we're going to see some more goals here in the second.
Talk about Wyatt Schmidt, his first chance to play this number 2 ranked Loyola Rambler team.
Awesome to seeing throughout all the SHL.
That goal was the quickest goal scored in an SHL final game in history.
Mr. SHL with the stats you all are looking for. Thank you, Dylan.
Listen, that's Sam Schwartz. That's not me. Big shout out to Sam watching over in New York at Syracuse.
Hey, I'll give you guys a 1A, 1B. You guys both do a great job here for the SHL Network, Dylan.
And between everything that goes into the website, Dylan, of course, in charge of that Instagram page, so direct all your feedback his way. Here's a point-blank chance, just getting enough of it was Trapp. That close to the second goal of the game for New Trier. Ubich keeps it in at the point. Now Chu pinned against the glass. Now Chu pinned against the glass by Steele and Orzakowski. Orzakowski comes away with it. Gets all the way out to Jobert. Jobert and Finnegan for the Ramblers. Jobert up the slot, has the puck taken off his stick, falls to Hubish. Sipe slows it down in the neutral zone. It'll be Jobert that drops it deep, will go collect his own dump. Long. Shielded off the puck and able to force it out was Curry. Now Curry chasing as that puck came up short, or it would have been icing. Sipe comes away with it, tries a pass off the boards. Here's Merrill near circle. Merrill's shot fought off by Schmidt. That one deflects into the corner. Still trying to dig it free out of the corner. Finally, DJ Long able to get a little bit of space. We get a whistle for, I believe, the goal off its post. Is that the signal I thought I saw? Yep, that's exactly it.
Good pickup there, Max. And you talk about what I like from both goalies. I think Charlie Trapp might be favoring that blocker side. We've seen now, 2 or 3 times that New Trier's try to beat him to that glove side. Earlier in the first period, we saw that opportunity that just missed the net. We both saw there was a little extra room towards that glove side. So, you Charlie Trapp, I know it's an intense game. You are a freshman child, settle in, but you got to stay to your mechanics, stay to your fundamentals, and try and stay square to every puck.
Just a minute and a half gone here into the second period, live from Winnetka Ice Arena. The SHL Championship for the first time, a 1-game championship. In past years, it was a best of 3. Now a turnover comes to Friel. Big shot from Wolf, blocked expertly there by Sam Walker. Now point-blank chance, turned aside by Trapp. But in past years, like we mentioned, it was a best-of-3 series for the championship. I don't know about you, Wes, but I certainly appreciate the spectacle of a 1 game, and certainly with the way this fits into the broader playoff calendar with the state, certainly like this format better.
Especially the intensity that these two fan bases bring. It just amplifies everything that goes on tonight's game.
Now finally fought through. Steele's shot gets knocked down in front. Would have been offsides if played by anybody in a gold sweater, so Loyola's got to clear the zone. Chipped up, finds Huber as he enters the zone. Trying to create space. Pedraja on his wing. Pops free, but right to the stick of Mikey Baker. New Trier in a change. But Bane can't handle the puck as he crossed center ice. Pedraja. Sharp angle. Shoots again. Goes across the crease. Trapp might have gotten a little piece of it. Bane stops. Turns. Gets it across. Here's a shot from Klein, missing the net. And spins all the way out of the zone. Here's the goal scorer, Friel. Hannigan trying to center it. Friel backhand, can't get anything on it. And it'll be cleared once more. Nicky trying to catch up to it. Icing gets waved. Randall comes away with it. Now Nolan with a step. Nolan breakaway up the slot. Backhand. What a save by Trapp. Keeps it 1-0.
That was an incredible pass, too, to set him up.
And Nolan just almost intentionally slowed himself down before he got the puck to find that little extra jet, that right trigger, that turbo, right as he came up the slot.
Did a great job, too, of staying on side, met that puck right at the blue line there, and we talked about Charlie Trapp might be giving up a little space on that glove side. Nolan decides to go to the blocker side, and Trapp with a great right pad save to keep this 1-0.
Now, as I think about it, that right trigger joke might have dated myself. Here's Nolan, another stretch pass. Well, we get a whistle for a penalty as it's going to be a slash against the Trevians. Must have happened behind us. Dylan, not sure if you had your eyes trailing the play at all.
Got to be honest, guys, I did not. So,
but
Hitch goes to the box, though.
Started to say, I dated myself a little bit because right trigger was the old-time sprint. That's more Madden and some of the old-time NHL games. Of course, you're still playing NHL 24, which I dabble on occasion. You're holding down the left stick for the turbo.
Partner, I like the right trigger reference. So the fans didn't. At least you know you got one person beside you that will. And we saw a replay of that Trapp save on the breakaway against Nolan.
Big moment here. Loyola, a chance to find a game tire. 2-minute power play. The slashing the call. The shot from Jobert got deflected and just missed the near post. Another shot from sight, misses wide and high. Jobert keeps it in, puts it below the goal. Savino, big wind up. He's able to clear it.
And Max, something that the Ramblers have done a great job, even though they haven't been able to get a lot of pucks through, is a lot of traffic in front of Schmidt, making his job so difficult to track that puck as it comes in on the net.
Yeah, he did not see that deflection until it was well past him. And once more cleared by the Trevians, and Jobert can't handle it, so it'll waste another 10 seconds.
Yeah, you could see Schmidt going to that left side. There's a lot of traffic in front, and don't know what exactly it hit, but it squirted back to the right, and there was some room there for that puck to go on the net, but luckily it missed the Trevians.
Bane plays across the blue line. A couple of Trevians converge on Steele, able to pry it free. Shot from sight, gets a deflection from Finnegan, went just wide. Now Jobert not able to get the puck as the long limbs of David Wolf gets the deflection and gets it out of the zone. Now Bane doesn't handle the puck well in center ice and cleared once more by the Trevians. Aiden Nolan putting pressure on shorthanded. He's got Friel in the slot. Friel can't get a shot off. Trier looking to find one shorthanded. Instead, David Long comes 2-on-1. Baker up the slot. Randall gets a piece of it. Now Randall 2-on-1. Jobert went for a change. Klein back skating. Here's Nolan. He shoots. Backdoor chance. Oh, fortunate. Almost an own goal from Matt Klein.
And Randall had a wide open net on the replay. We're going to see it here, and Nolan decides to shoot. Looked to beat Trapp. 5-hole Trapp so good down low, able to squeeze the pads, and you see there 11 in front. Matt Klein looked like he was trying to tie up Randall on the back end, almost as you mentioned, put it in his own net.
Fine play for Loyola. Had a couple of good looks at net. Haven't actually gotten one on goal. Here's Messina. He's going to send it in deep. Cooper Nelson giving it a chase on the forecheck.
That puck went flying into the Loyola crowd. Looks like everyone's okay as the puck's thrown back into play.
A good look of it right in front of Joel's camera there.
CJ Sun took a hit, too, as he was trying to make the play right there, Dylan.
Hey, listen, the no protective netting is great for broadcasting purposes, not great all the time for safety purposes.
I'm sure everybody was paying perfect attention down there. No one was looking at their phone. I'm sure it was all good.
Actually, the service is so bad in here that no one has been looking at their phone. I'm looking at everyone.
Fair point. Merrill puts it in towards goal. Messina collects for the Ramblers. Gets it across Nelson. Nelson shot. And a smooth glove from Wyatt Schmidt like he's a first baseman.
Baseball reference for the kid to my right as we get spring training kicked off. But that might be one of the first shots that Schmidt's been able to see all the way through, maybe outside of the first shot on net for the Ramblers tonight in those opening minutes. Schmidt's able to get that with the glove and get a whistle for the Trevians.
Face off to come to the left of Schmidt. Won by the Trevians, pulled back into the corner as Savino wraps it around the boards. Comes to the stick of Aiden Nolan. The puck just seems to gravitate towards 65 and white stick. As Trapp drops his glove on it, and Hennigan takes a little extra shot. Merrill takes a little extra shot. Referees will say fair game and play on.
See Merrill do that, immediately skate away, palms up. You know, might have thought Hennigan took a little bit of a dive. You can see there's a little jawing too as he's going back to the Rambler bench, and something that we expect from these two teams, right? Rivals not only in hockey, but basketball, football, baseball, you name it. These two schools do not like each other.
Yeah, we talked about the scoreboard for the evening. Of course, New Trier beat Loyola at 5:30 in the sectional semifinals in basketball. Then all those students came over here. They saw New Trier White win the first AHL championship in the Academic Cup. Can they make it a clean sweep here tonight in the New Trier versus Loyola matchup? We will find out. About a period and a half left to see. And again, able to dig it out, chips it out back towards LaRue. Now Walker, his pass a little bit too hot as it misses his intended target. Here's Nolan. Plays to the corner and Hennigan. LaRue with him step for step. Nolan comes to support the puck. Now Hennigan almost had a wrap attempt, but LaRue able to steer him aside. Now Julian Gabal. John Dwyer able to take it out. He'll drop it deep. Pereno on the chase as well. That's Pereno that comes away with it. Back up Klein. His shot just missing the near post. Schmidt didn't see that one. Now Chu. Loyola student section trying to get something going. Trying to find a goal in this game. Trying to will their team on. Now as space comes up the right side, Orzakowski. He'll drop it deep, cut off by Herstrit. And Chu takes it out. Herstrit far side. He'll chip it deep. Klein checked off the puck. Herstrit trying to win it back. Chu comes to support. Eventually Will Steele finds the puck. There's one thing, Wes, that has stuck out to me thus far offensively for Loyola is no sooner than I said it, trying to create an opportunity. Here's Orzakowski, back up top Klein. Steele top of the circle, shoots, blocked by Chu. But they have not been able to find, I don't think, a single clean exit out of their zone. Everything has been high pressure from this Trevian side. I mean, even here, Will Steele with space, finally able to connect on a pass. Finnegan. Bane. In a change, Sipe waits for it, but not able to get any further. Herstrit almost broke free. Here's Randall. Randall can't get by a man. Sipe does a nice job standing him up. The way this game is going right now, it's really New Trier suffocating the space of Loyola. And while 1-0 is the score, it hasn't felt like that. New Trier's really been stepping on it.
Right, Max, and going back to your point is that's what makes this Trevians team so hard to beat is they can be aggressive in all three zones of the ice. And you talk about their forecheck. It's been relentless today. Only allowed 10 shots so far through, almost halfway through this game. So some adjustments are going to have to be made from Loyola's side to get themselves some more space in the neutral zone and the offensive end.
Here's Hubish. Now a shot, still bouncing around as Nelson has to fling it off the boards, gets it out into the neutral zone. But again, it's just a dump, it's a clear. It's nothing that they can really start their offense with. Trying to dig it out, comes to the stick of Hubish, fires it right back deep. Oh, Sipe's stick hits Huber right in the face, right in front of the referee. I'm really surprised we didn't see a penalty there, but we'll play on.
Surprise the refs kept the whistle in the pocket on that one. You could hear that up in the booth. It sounded like a car crash, if you will, from up here.
Physicality in this game starting to pick up. That puck just escapes the zone. LaRue can't keep it in, and he's got a word with the linesman on his way by.
Yeah, and rightfully so, guys. That never left the zone. That's pretty clear from where I'm standing.
Looks like the Ramblers coaching staff is upset. I think Scott Sorrell is going to get some type of explanation right here, but
Dylan, you're right there. Or wait till they're done talking. We don't want
we might
to
catch
catch
a hot mic.
anything a little bit too choice down there. But the entire Loyola coaching staff was emphatic before or right after that whistle.
And to their credit, they're on the actual bench down there, so they have a great sight line down there, down that blue line. Dylan.
Guys, they're complaining about something one of the New Trier skaters said skating away, and that was while I was saying something, so I didn't quite hear what it was, but I did hear the voice, and it made the coaches react that way immediately, and they were just saying that should be unsportsmanlike, but they're not going to get that call.
And now Adam Charis getting an explanation on his bench. All three. You don't see DJ LeVar that animated very often, but you saw Lockwood, Sorrell, and DJ LeVar. I jump off the bench like someone was assaulted. I mean, they were intense.
You talk about a great team. You have a great coaching staff. They're usually very calm. Scott Sorrell, too. Not many times you see them get that animated.
Dylan, what do you got?
Yeah, so the ref's basically just saying he didn't see it and he can't call it late, but both benches, as of right now, have a warning. So I'm sure we're going to see an unsportsmanlike penalty if we have more chippiness with the words.
Yeah, the game getting a little bit chippy here over the last couple minutes. We saw the high hit right in front of us just a couple of minutes ago.
Great play by the refs there, trying to take control of this game before anything, unsportsmanlike truly happens there for both teams.
Savino gloves the puck, tries to play it forward. DJ Long's able to turn over the puck. Deflected right in front, just wide. Messina's deflection just missed the net. Turned around with space. Here comes John Olsen. LaRue back to play it for the Ramblers. Able to cleanly get it to Walker. Walker up to Messina. Messina trying to clear space, but getting in the way was John Curry and cleared once more. That's going to be an icing.
And Max, that Messina attempt is really the first time we've seen these Ramblers be able to get behind this Trevian defense. We get a great look at it there, and looks like Schmidt actually might have got a right pad on that. Just a great passing play there by the Ramblers, a great timing play as well to try and sneak that one by the right pad of Schmidt.
.540 to go here in the second period of the SHL Championship. These two teams playing for the Scholastic Cup. Saw it behind the benches earlier today. That large trophy. Trevian's trying to bring it back to Wilmette. Winnetka, what is it technically? Northfield? Which campus do they technically claim?
Well, the Winnetka campus is the sophomores, juniors, and seniors, and the Northfield is freshmen.
So they're trying to bring it back to Winnetka then. We'll settle on that. Here's Hubish. Hubish in the slot. Trap kicks it aside. Finnegan picks up the loose stick. Randall with the pirouette, able to get around one man, but not a second. Little steal. Now Joe Bear missing his intended target. And Wes, I think one of the consequences of the pressure here is Joe Bear with some space. He shoots, glove save. But one of the consequences of the pressure we've seen from New Trier, Loyola's just maybe trying to play a little bit too fast, firing off a pass a little bit too quick, a little bit off the mark. You can see the clock kind of speeding up in their heads.
And they're not often do they play a team that can match their pace too, right? So that might be what they see. They're trying to speed up a little bit, and they're getting outside of their zone. That's one of those things that New Trier can do, is they can really play any style of game, and that's one of those things that's going to make things difficult for the Ramblers here as this game continues on.
Baker able to knock the puck away. Look, Nicky even with the goal. Tries a backhand stuff attempt, and it squeaks through. Did it score? Hard to tell. The referee still looking. Has not given a signal. I mean, at this point, if he hasn't given a signal, I would assume no goal.
Guys, the Loyola student section is right on top of that. They had the best view, and they all went up cheering in unison, and they're going to call this no goal.
And Dylan, not to cut you off, we have a replay of it, and I actually think that's a good call by the refs. We'll see it here, and the puck honestly just goes in between the legs of Schmidt, so I don't know why the Ramblers reacted the way they did. You can tell, usually the goalie knows if that puck goes in or not. I think Schmidt could feel it in between his legs and was pretty confident that that puck didn't go across the line.
Good call by our officials. No goal is certainly what transpired. But just by a couple of inches, Loyola getting closer and closer. Nicky loses the puck through the neutral zone. Smooth stick from Nelson to slow the Trevians. Now Nelson can't keep his feet. Sipe with some speed and space. He fires it deep as he approaches the red line. Wolf easily able to get it out. Here's Baker. Fired by Bane. Big rebound. Not able to get a second shot off. LaRue able to keep it in at the near point. Baker has his stick tied up. Sam Walker thought about a pinch for a moment. Ends up retreating. And it goes all the way back behind Charlie Trapp. Trying to pass off the boards, but Hubish there to take it away. "14 shots aside," according to the scoreboard. Feels about right. The pressure certainly in favor of New Trier. Just have not been able to see this Loyola offense get going at all so far tonight.
Yeah, with the exception of maybe one or two chances here or there, there's really been no good concerted effort or concerted pressure by this Ramblers team in the offensive end.
Messina gets the puck deep. Pereno trying to support on the forecheck. Long catches up to it. He'll put it below the goal. Now a chance. Schmidt gives up the puck on the rebound. Point blank was Pereno, but couldn't get it by him. Walker not able to get it out. Here's Herstrid. His shot. Trap. Brief rebound, but able to fall on it.
Guys, just wanted to plug this real quick before we hit the intermission. We do have that big announcement coming during the second intermission. We're super excited to share the news with all of you fans of SHL Network, so don't go anywhere during the second intermission. That's coming up shortly.
That is what we call a tease. Well done, Dylan.
To quote your Instagram story today, Max.
We like to have fun, and we're going to have a lot more fun coming up. Fisk drops the puck below the goal. Steal. Garvin St. John does a nice job chipping the puck off the boards. Gabal takes a tumble. St. John goes to the ice. Now Randall. Bodies flying around in the corner. Eventually it's Randall that comes away with the puck. Final 2 minutes of the second period. A big check right in front of the Loyola bench. Randall absorbs it, moves on, 2-on-2. His shot blocked by Klein. And Klein able to clear. Can Finnegan catch up? He's got a breakaway. Finnegan, he scores! Liam Finnegan ties it up. It's 1-1.
And Max, you can see Schmidt thought about coming to play that puck. It looked like there was a little bit of space or time for him to come out there, but decides to sit back. And what a goal. What speed by 37 as he comes and picks his corner. Schmidt's down early.
Looks like he almost maybe even got a small piece of it with his glove. Oh, I think it was clean.
And Finnegan gives his team a goal here in the second period and ties things up right before the break, Dylan.
And guys, the shirts are off in the Loyola student section after that one.
The first playoff goal for Liam Finnegan. He had 23 in the regular season, which actually led the team for Loyola. Oh, a huge hit down in front of us. Joe Bear goes sprawling to the ice. I'm not sure if our cameras were able to pick that up as it was right in front of us. And you don't see much bigger hits in high school hockey than the one we just saw.
Max, that happened so fast as that puck was going into the defensive end for Loyola that I'm not sure our cameraman would even have a chance to, but not unexpectedly that as soon as a goal is scored, the intensity just revs right back up here in tonight's game.
Nolan carries in. That fluttering puck, Trepp missed it. Fortunate it was wide of the net. You know, Wes, last time we broadcasted for these two teams, that game back in January, it was the end of the second period that entirely changed the complexion of that game. If you remember, it was Jack Savino that got a game misconduct for a hit. They had a 5-minute major when Loyola was up 2-1. Here's Nolan at the end of the period. Shoots. Trapp turns it aside. Finish that thought here in just a moment. Nolan deflects. Trapp kicks to the corner. Comes out Hubish. Drops it Trapp. Baker and Wolf tied up. That misses everybody, and we'll go for icing. But, Wes, when we were here, it was 2-1 Loyola. They had a 5-minute power play. They even had, I think, a minute of 5-on-3. They entered that up 2-1. They left it tied, 2-2, and the game changed, and really the season changed, because if you remember at that point, if Loyola would have won that game, they would have been in shape for the regular season championship in the SHL. That turned, and that literally changed the season.
And they don't call him Mr. SHL Max Anderson for nothing. Nothing gets past you, and Max, I do remember that, and it's really fitting that here in the second period, again, Loyola gets a late goal to really get themselves back into this game. It was venturing into that next goal, wins territory, and now with the momentum coming into the second break, Loyola's got everything going for them as we enter this third period.
So that's the end of two periods. Folks, we do have a quick announcement besides the one Dylan teased. Normally, for years and years and years, at the second intermission of the SHL Championship, we'd have SHL President Evan Polakidis for a league update interview. We will not be able to do that tonight, unfortunately. Evan has some personal things he has to attend to. He was here briefly but had to leave. So we will not have the president's interview like we normally have, but we will have a couple of updates and an announcement here in just about 2 minutes, so don't go anywhere here on the SHL Network. Take a quick break, come back with that announcement here in just a moment.
Live from American Heartland Ice Arena for the SHL playoffs. It's
Welcome back to the SHL Network. Max Anderson, Wes Anderson on the call. Believe we are not brothers. I know that's shocking. But Wes, a good friend of mine, long time. Wes, this is what, year 4 or 5 for you here on the SHL Network?
Yeah, I think 5 now, right? Yeah.
Always love him up here in the booth, down on the benches, but appreciate you being here tonight. Normally we would have for you the president's interview. We talked about that earlier. Not going to be able to have that. Do want to start with just talking a little bit about the league, Wes. Obviously, this year brought in Fenwick, St. Ignatius, adding to the SHL in what was an unbelievably competitive year for the SHL once again.
Yeah, I mean, you take 2 of the best teams in the CCHL and you bring them over to the SHL, and that just breeds more competitiveness, right? You talk about St. Ignatius and Fenwick. They're both in the CCHL finals tonight, and you know they St. Ignatius ended up in 6th place, right? Fenwick a little bit further towards the bottom of the league, but you know it just shows you how great these top teams are in the SHL, and just how great the competitiveness is, and you know just how great the league is. You know I'm always happy to talk about it.
Meanwhile, before tonight's game, we had the AHL final, first year of the Academic Hockey League here in the SHL, which was a tremendously successful season, capped by a fantastic game that we had before. And word is, as I talk around the league, AHL is only going to grow. We're going to add more teams from what I understand. It's just going to keep growing this great league here on the North Shore.
And it really feels like it's like the NHL style of high school hockey here in Illinois, which is such a great thing. I don't think there's any other state that really functions in that way, where you have that growth, and you can pull from those teams. Like talk about a team like New Trier Green, they can pull from a team from White if they have players that go down and things like that. So it really just fosters more growth, and it fosters more competitiveness and makes this league even better.
So you mentioned this league in a first that I'm aware of. All 8 Elite 8 teams in the Red Varsity Division are from the SHL. It is basically a run it back of the SHL playoffs in that way. One difference being single elimination. It's going to be a heck of a tournament.
Max, I think I even said that to you today. I was like, is it really the final 8 in state is really just the standings here in the SHL, and I think that's what's going to make these games so great, right? It's single elimination. It's not like the old rules in the SHL finals where you would go to 3 games. So that's going to bring the intensity. That's going to bring the fire. You're going to see these teams really go at it once those Elite 8 games start.
So we mentioned those Elite 8 games, and of course, that is part of this announcement, as Dylan teased earlier. Here at J&M Media, myself, Max Anderson, my partner, Jimmy the Wiz Olsen, are proud to be partnered with A-High. We will be broadcasting all of the Red Varsity quarterfinals, thanks to some sponsors. You're going to hear about them coming up, folks. To be blunt with you, we needed help if we were going to broadcast the Elite 8 for the Red Varsity. We reached out. Pete Mulvey, I want to give a specific shout out to, and all the great help the GBS hockey community specifically gave in securing those sponsors. Stay tuned to the SHL Instagram page. You'll hear all about them and what they were able to do to support for the Red Varsity Elite 8. And then, of course, all of the girls semifinals, the combined semifinals, and the Red Varsity semifinals will be produced, broadcasted right here, J&M Media, on the SHL Network YouTube channel. Wes, we've been doing it for the past couple of years. It's coming back to the SHL Network.
As the kids say, let's run it back, right? And you mentioned the sponsors. We really can't do it without them. And I think it's really understated how much support and how much love not only you, me, and all the guys who are on the broadcast really have for them.
So more to come on those sponsors for that Elite 8. Super, super grateful for them. Finally, folks, you guessed it, we also are in partnership with the Chicago Blackhawks to once again produce the state championship games at the United Center. It's been a huge undertaking. We cannot thank the Blackhawks enough for their support and their trust in J&M Media. Myself, Wes will be part of those broadcasts. Dylan will be part of those broadcasts. Live March 13th, we will have the broadcasts for you. Jimmy the Wiz Olsen, of course, other members of our technical and camera crew. Matt Freeman's been on camera for every single SHL Network game this year. He'll be there at the United Center as well. So this is a thank you to you all, fans at home, for your viewership of the SHL Network, the growth we've seen, the computer we're able to buy, the equipment we're able to bring to make continual improvements to this network is because of you. We thank you very, very much, and we hope that you enjoy the final period of SHL hockey coming up here in third period in just a couple of moments. We'll take a break. We'll come back with that just as soon as the ice cleaning's done. Welcome back live to Winnetka Ice Arena. Wes Anderson, Dylan Ward on the call for the SHL Championship. These two teams playing for the Scholastic Cup after 2 periods. It's 1-1. We've got a third period to decide it, and we've got Dylan Ward standing by with Adam Cheris ahead of the third period. Dylan.
Thanks, guys. Coach, just want to start by talking about, we just talked about it a little bit off air. The atmosphere tonight has been absolutely incredible, as always, for Loyola New Trier. How do you think a crowd like this helps your guys' game?
Well, I mean, obviously it gets everybody juiced on both ends. But what do you expect? It's green and gold. This is what it's all about. This is what these kids all grow up thinking about, what they all want to play for. So it's awesome to see.
You get the goal just about a minute in by Ashton Friel. Loyola comes to tie it, starting from square one here in the third. What's the game plan?
Yeah, I mean, I hate giving up that late goal. It was a nice play by them, leaking a guy out of the zone. Wish we would have caught it earlier. But, we're kind of going back to where we started this game. Tight checking, pucks deep, outworking them. Got to win our battles. Got to start connecting on passes. Believe in our guys.
All right, good luck here in the third.
Dylan.
Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Dylan. And I do want to take a moment to really thank Dylan Ward for everything he's done this SHL season. Obviously, more to come here during the A-High playoffs. He'll have all the coverage. He'll be at Bensenville. He'll be on the call for some of those. But, folks, I've said it before, I'll say it again. The experience that Sam Schwartz and Dylan Ward create for this league mirrors Division I athletic departments in the sports information department. Dylan, thank you. You deserve all the credit in the world for what you've done, what you've created here in the SHL on the digital side.
Well, hey, Max, really appreciate that. And for all of you watching at home, Max is right. Every final score here for the rest of the state playoffs for Elite Eight of all 4 divisions, combined red, girls, and JV, there will be a game day and final score post on the SHL Network Instagram. So make sure you're there for every score for all the state games and all the divisions.
And that alone shows you he's got no requirements to do anything for combined, for JV. That's because Dylan Ward absolutely loves what he does.
Hey,
Dylan,
I get paid by the SHL, not A-High. I don't have any requirements to do the state playoff games.
And it just goes to show you how much he cares. We all care to bring the great experience. Final period of SHL hockey is upon us. Clean ice, 1-1 our score. One of these two teams in 17 minutes or more are going to be an SHL champion.
Yeah, the message at intermission: win a period, win a game, win a championship. Both teams not letting back here in the final 17 minutes.
Here's Klein, tape to tape, finds Baker as he enters the zone. Shoots, but Savino kicks it to the corner. Bane catches up with it. Nicky is forced out of the zone. Huber. Now 4 or 5 bodies trying to dig it out from in front of the New Trier bench. Eventually pops free. Nicky has it poked off his stick, falls to Klein. I mentioned it. Potential preview of what we could see at the United Center. Although I know off air we've all talked about we expect some upsets this weekend. I do not expect chalk on Sunday when we are live from the Edge in Bensenville. Pulling to his backhand is Orzakowski, but can't get a shot off. Point blank Finnegan trying to find his second goal, but couldn't get a shot off. Here's Hannigan with speed. Hannigan up the left side, trying to skate past Nelson. He's with him every step of the way. Sipe absorbs a check from Nolan. And Finnegan finds Joe Bear. Nolan catching up to the puck, centering pass, just able to disrupt his sight. On the doorstep was Friel. One-time shot, kicked aside by Trapp. Now this shot would have been wide of the net, but Trapp squeezes it.
Max talked about the upsets in state. Nothing will beat 2022, where everyone thought the state championship was going to be New Trier Loyola, and then St. Viator and Stevenson, both of the upsets there in the semis, and end up being them two in the state championship. So you really never know.
Yeah, 2 of the weirder games. I remember those games both vividly. It was New Trier, I believe, or maybe it was Loyola. One of the 2 fell down 3-0 in the first 6 minutes. It was really ugly.
Yeah, that was the New Trier game.
And then Loyola as well, I believe, gave up more goals than any game they played all season. So anything can happen down at the Edge. Here's Chong up the slot. Yasin able to keep it in. Chong weaving his way through traffic, fires a wrist shot, trickles pass on the goal line, and stuffed home! The puck just tantalizingly sitting on the goal line for what felt like forever, and it was Luke Chu that put it home.
And it looked like David Long tried to sweep that off the goal line, and doing so might have put it in his own net, and just a seamless shot that comes in on net. We can see it trickling. Maybe if we get the goalie cam from directly behind the net, we'll get a better angle of that, but Trapp not able to squeeze the wickets in time, and we'll get the replay here, and you can see it just looked like it was going to finally lay flat. As
I think Chu did get enough of it. So it'll be Luke Chu that'll get credit for the goal. The go-ahead here just 2 minutes into the third period. New Trier takes the lead.
What a momentum shift. Loyola gets that late goal in the second. You thought they were going to come hard here in the first 2 minutes, but great response by the Trevians to get the second goal and take command of this lead, or this game.
So we saw Loyola with the late second period goal to tie the game. What do they have left? Chong plays to Nolan. His shot off the shin boards of Matt Klein. Savino wanted it at the point. Instead, it goes below the goal. Savino out in front. Now a shot from Chong. A sprawling shot missed the target. Here's Pereno. Now Long following up for the Ramblers. Curry, backhand, able to get it back onto the neutral zone. Klein racing. Trying to find the puck. Finally, Klein comes away with it below his own goal. Bane checks Randall, but not before he gets the puck back into Loyola's end. Here's Huber. Trapp opts to drop it, and you could even hear Scott Sorello wanted to play it, did not want to yield the defensive zone draw.
There's so much talk, too, about the shift after giving up a goal, right? We see New Trier come right back at it. They're trying to control the neutral ice. Now that they have the lead, they're not going to go all the way defensively back into their own net, in their own zone, but try and control as much of the ice as they can. So just happy right now to chip and chase, force the Loyola defensemen to turn their backs on the puck as they go retrieve it in their own end.
Here's a shot blocked. Following it up is Wolf, but he can't get anything with mustard on it. Look, Nicky leads 3-on-2 for the Ramblers. Pedraja coming back. He takes a whack at the arms. Eventually, Baker loses the puck. Here's Wolf. Wolf skates wide, tries to go hard to the net. He bulls over Charlie Trapp. We get a whistle.
By the way, guys, circling back to that go-ahead goal by New Trier by Luke Chu. Boys, he's been having a nice run here in the playoffs. That's his 4th goal in 5 games to match his regular season total of 4 goals.
You always look at who's going to step up in playoffs. You always look for your stars, but it seems like there's always 1 or 2 guys that find that stride come January into February. Luke Chu certainly finding those scoring legs here in the playoffs.
And you're going to need your depth to go late into the playoffs, and that's what this New Trier team has a ton of, right? And they get chances like that from Chu that really comes so pivotal in games like tonight.
LaRue, tape to tape, finds Joe Bear. Quickly up to Finnegan. That goes far enough for an icing. I want to thank our great sponsors, as we always do. We talked about them. These are the league year-long sponsors here in the SHL. They are a huge contribution to the budget of the SHL network and how we're able to bring you games. Stay tuned. Like we mentioned, we have a slightly different set of sponsors coming up that are sponsoring that quarterfinal round. More to come on social media, and of course, you'll see them all day long on Sunday as well. So big thank you to them. Here's Aiden Nolan. Nolan's shot. Nelson gets his stick in the way and deflects up into the netting.
Nice chance there by the Trevians trying to extend the ice just a little bit, try and force the Ramblers' defense to play a little bit further back in the neutral zone than they normally would like to there. As some good tunes come across the broadcast system here in the rink. My partner to my right, nice little dance moves.
Hey, if you can't dance and move the hips a little bit while you're doing a broadcast, you're not having enough fun. Hennigan.
Should get that on a poster somewhere.
Hennigan and Finnegan do battle. Steele comes away with it for Loyola and chips it back out into the neutral zone. That's offsides. So we'll get a neutral zone draw here. 12-11 left in the third. Thanks to Gerard Boris here with us tonight, running the clock and sharing the software that he's been using on the GBS network. We are going to purchase the same thing because I think we can all agree that is a good-looking score bug. So we will be having the same moving forward for the remainder of the A-High playoffs. Looking forward to that. Here's Nolan. Nolan backhanded pass, tried to get it to Friel, who was coming up the slot. Instead, Steele comes away with it. Moreno plays it deep. Messina trying to catch it in the corner. That rides the boards all the way back to the neutral zone. Now Hennigan with some speed and space up the right side, pestered the entire way by Messina. Nolan circles, trying to create space in the slot. He scores! Aiden Nolan curls into the slot, makes it 3-1.
Max, just too much time and space for 65 and White, and circles the wagon there, and you had a feeling he was going to put the puck in the back of the net at some point throughout the night. We said his name time and time again, and just a great move to get himself free in the slot there as he peels behind the Loyola defense there, is able to be trapped to that glove side.
Just talked about Luke Chu getting his 4th goal. That's second place in this team to Aiden Nolan, now at 7 goals in SHL playoff game number 5.
And like you said earlier with Chu, Nolan had 12 all season. This is just his 5th playoff game, and he's got 7 goals. And he has just been around the puck all night. Talked about it during the second period. Puck just seems to find him in good places, and he capitalizes it and makes it 3-1. Centering pass. What kind of pushback does Loyola have? Darvin St. John trying to get some energy back for the Ramblers. The ball wraps it around the boards. Olsen waits for it at the near point. Chipped out. Here's Miller. Miller late arriving. The shot fought off by Trapp off the blocker. It was a late arriving Olsen that was able to get a shot off. Now another check from Olsen. As this 4th line from the Trevians, keeping the energy up in that first shift after the goal. Looking for more are the Trevians. Pedraja trying to win a board battle behind the goal. Instead it's LaRue. As much as we've called Aiden Nolan's name, it's been a quiet night for Charlie Bane. Has not been able to get free like he would like to. We've seen him so prolific all season, but clearly this Trevian team has him circled the moment he gets on the ice.
And Max, I think it goes to your point that you had earlier. They're just so aggressive in all 3 zones of the ice. It's really hard for 95 and Yellow to have any time or space. You can even see it now with Huber as he's just going to the face-off dodge. Just a little extracurriculars after the whistle could really frustrate a player, and it seems to be working tonight for Charlie Bane.
Klein, D-to-D, finds Steele. The shot deflected wide. Look, Nicky battles in the corner. Wolf comes away with it. Steele able to keep it in at the point. Avoids a hit. Bane trying to break free. Gets it back to Klein. And back out into the neutral zone. So under 10 minutes to go here in the third period. Trevian's in control with the 2-goal lead. Trying to make it back-to-back Scholastic Cup champions. Here's Wolf. Flips it deep. Steele finds Jobert with some space through the neutral zone. He shoots, but that shot's blocked by Yasin. Finnegan, patient play, finds Jobert, high slot, creates some space, but again, the stick of Yasin stays on the ice, deflects it up into the netting.
Great stick by number 6 in white, helping out his goaltender. And from the Rambler side, you got to get a little desperate here, right? You're down 2 with less than 9 to play. You only have 2 shots so far in this period. I think it's time where you're just throwing everything, the slot hard to try and get some rebounds and some second or third chance opportunities.
Draw goes behind Schmidt. Haven't had to call his name much. This New Trier pressure all night long made his life relatively easy. He's had a couple of good stops, but 16 shots on goal. He stopped 15 of them. And I can't really venture to think of any extremely high-level saves. It's been a really dominant defensive performance by the front 5 all night long. Doesn't matter which line for New Trier, they've all been dominant.
Yeah, a few timely saves by Schmidt, but outside of that, this Trevian's defense has just been swarming on the puck every chance they've had.
And this is the type of play from the Trevians that see him play like this. Just hard to imagine someone finding a way to beat him. We see it every year with upsets, but this shot from Chu just goes over the crossbar and once again cleared. But they are flexing. I think they're clearly showing why they're the number one ranked team in the state. And Adam Cheris's second season at the helm of New Trier, continuing that tradition, that standard for New Trier that as long as I've been associated with high school hockey has been the same.
Yeah, Max, as a matter of fact, in the last 2 seasons, this season's O'Grady Cup Thanksgiving tournament is the only league, playoffs, or tournament New Trier wasn't the champions of in the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, Dylan, correct me if I'm wrong. They went, 4 for 4 last year in the tournaments they played, including the SHL championship and the state finals. So
yeah, 5 for 5 if you count state championship as well. And then even this year, they won the preseason, they won the SHL regular season. That only blemish is that O'Grady Cup this year, where they lost in the semis. They've been the champs of everything else.
They've been on a mission to go back-to-back. They're in good shape to do that here in the Scholastic League. That's 1 trophy. Can Loyola change that script here in the final 7-10? Shot from Hennigan gets deflected wide. Nolan and Pereno collide. Nolan got the worst of that exchange. Trying to get loose, but still not able to, as Pereno just has to clear it hard off the boards. Nolan goes to his backhand, tries a wrap attempt, can't complete it. Laid on is Olsen, his shot deflects just wide. Well, Wes, we've talked about this pressure from New Trier. There's a collision looking for maybe a cross check. We don't see one. Here's St. John with some speed and space up the right side. He fires it towards Schmidt and wide. Now Savino. Walker gets a deflection. Big save from Schmidt. There's a grade A save as that deflection was going in. Not for the right pad of Schmidt. Side of the net, Savino. LaRue tried to pinch in to keep it in. He couldn't get there in time. Walker off the helmet of Miller. A souvenir for the fans to our right.
that's one of the first times I've ever seen that. Miller streaking through the neutral zone quick as we see the great save by Schmidt. Really the only great chance the Ramblers have had in this period, but talk about the great goaltending. Him and Drew Dirtoff just so technically sound in net, making himself big in front of that shot and able to get the right pad on that last opportunity.
Bane gets the puck deep. It's been the problem. They've been able to get it deep. They just have not been able to sustain any offense. You know, the book to start the year on this New Trier team was this was a relatively unusual team in terms of they're huge. They've got 5 guys 6'4" or taller. The size was unlike anything we've seen. Maybe not as fast as every New Trier team we've ever seen, but the size was unlike really any team we've seen from the Trevians.
Which is crazy to say because that was the MO coming into this year. They added even more size on the back end, and there was thoughts that they might take a step back. It's so hard to go back to back in terms of winning a championship in any league or any game, right? And it seems like this Trevians team this year hasn't even skipped a beat from compared to last.
Just so sound that you wonder, how do you try to attack this Trevian team, right? If you try to bang bodies and get the puck deep and try to win it out of the corner, probably not going to win that matchup with the size as Loyola takes a timeout. What can you do with a team that's so disciplined, so big, and the speed has really come through? It
really feels like you have to play the perfect hockey game against this Trevians team, right? And you talk about, well, if you want to try and beat them with speed, they're so big that it's hard to get to the outside and beat them wide because they have such long sticks as they defend the middle of the ice. And then it's like, okay, well, if you want to beat them east to west, well, they play so well through the neutral zone. It's like, where do you really go there? So it's almost one of those where you have to force them into a chip and chase situation and hope that you come out with the better chances on the back end.
So Loyola here in the timeout, 5:06 to go in the third period. Scott Sorello trying to spread some of that message, Dylan.
Yeah, guys, sorry, I was having a conversation with the linesman here, so I'm not sure if I'm repeating what you said, but calling the timeout this early is interesting. I'm wondering when they're planning on pulling trap for the extra attacker. We'll have to see.
Yeah, Dylan, that's what I thought too. I think they're getting their ducks in order here. They might be pulling them. Wouldn't be surprised if they pull them in the next 2 minutes, get that extra attacker out there early, try and find that second goal, and then do the exact same thing again and try and find the third one.
We saw them try to run that face-off play, run Bane up the right wing earlier in the period. Wonder if maybe they were trying to draw something up there too, but New Trier wins the draw, the wrap attempt. Trapp gets to that near post fast enough.
Yeah, first things first, you got to win the face-off to set up a play like you just mentioned there, Max. And Hershey was able to get to that puck first and force Trapp to make a save.
Well, that's not a bad save right there.
Trapp trying to keep his team into the game, or in the game, I should say. 24 saves on 27 shots. According to the unofficial counter here to our left. Loyola looking to try to push here at the end of this game, but just have not seen much signs that the Ramblers can find much space in between.
You can see the Trevians here just trying to do their best to run off this clock. They know that they're really in the driver's seat here, and you know the Ramblers are going to have to bring everything and anything they're going to have at them, and you know just simply winning face-offs over and over again. You see even the Ramblers make a line change, something Scott Sorello didn't like the look that he was getting there, and again the Trevians just making life difficult for the Ramblers.
They tried that play off the draw as Bane went streaking, but the pass hit his own man. Look, Nicky with a little space. He's got a step. He gets turned around, draws a penalty. So a development here with 4:42 to go in the third period as Loyola's going to head to the power play.
Just what the Ramblers needed, especially right after calling that timeout. Now you got to think there's a lot of time on that clock, but I'm definitely considering pulling the goaltender early to get the 6-on-4.
I think you got to play the 5-on-4 out here for at least a minute, don't you, Wes? I mean, 4:42.
I think it depends on how well you're able to control the puck here. If you're able to snap it around pretty well, wouldn't be surprised if Trapp came off the ice. But first, you got to get sustained pressured in this offensive zone.
Clean win as the puck's able to get back to Joe Bear. Sipes shot blocked by Nolan. Here's Bane, far circle. He scores! Charlie Bane finds the back of the net, makes it 3-2.
Less than 10 seconds into this power play. Max, we said the Trevians did such a great job all game of containing Charlie Bane, but all it took was a simple pass down low. He picks his spot on the glove side, and the Ramblers are right back in this.
Traffic in front, and I don't know if Schmidt had somebody in his face, but Charlie Bane gets his third goal of the playoffs, make that 25 on his SHL season.
Yeah, and third goal against New Trier Green on the season as well, as these Loyola fans are getting crazy after that one.
So can we find one more? Can New Trier hold on? The drama I think everybody was expecting here in this SHL final for the Trevians. That Scholastic Cup not going to come easy. Long 4 minutes coming. That's going to go far enough for an icing. So all of a sudden the ice tilted back to our right. One last thank you to our sponsors here on the SHL Network. Again, they're great support all season long.
Yeah, we can see right away off that goal, Loyola is able to find some momentum, some jam, some energy here, and they've got a great chance here to get another great opportunity on to Schmidt and see what they can generate here in the last 4 minutes of this game.
Draw to come to the left of Schmidt. Finnegan gets tied up with Hennigan, gets drawn back below the goal. Steele pinches in. It's that time of the game for the Ramblers. Joe Bear tries to play it off the boards. Eventually, Hennigan's got some space. He'll roof it, but low ceilings here at Winnetka Ice Arena. We talked about during the AHL game. It's a break for the Ramblers.
Yeah, it's one of those where you're just trying to chip that puck in a little open space and kind of let your forwards go get the puck. But as you mentioned, it's one of the small adjustments that you have to make when you play here. You can't really utilize that play as well as we saw in that last opportunity.
Especially compared to Centennial or North Shore. Or Heartland's a pretty low ceiling, so shouldn't be too big of an adjustment for the Ramblers. Certainly not the caverns that we see at Glenview or Fifth Third Ice Arena. This is cleared up the boards. Is it going to stay on its side? It's rolling, but we get a no icing as we'll play on. And again, even with the goal, trying to shake free of Walker. Great play by Walker, not to give him a step. Here's LaRue, puts it in deep. Orzakowski on the forecheck, pressures Yasin. Walker waits for it back at the point, plays it back up the half wall. Joe Bear able to pick the pocket for a moment. Nolan gets it right back. Walker hustling to get back in position. 1-on-2 is Nolan, trying to squeeze between two defenders. Finnegan comes away with it for the Ramblers. Throws it off the glass to Joe Bear, who tries to get it deep. Now Nolan at the end of a shift. He absorbs a check from DJ Long. Cooper Nelson. We'll keep an eye on the left goal of Loyola and Charlie Trapp. We'll see how aggressive Scott Sorello wants to be. Long cross-ice pass, misses Merrill. Hirschritt into the offensive zone. Fortunate bounce for Hirschritt. He almost had a breakaway. Now a collision with Trapp. He's without a stick. They score! Waiting for it in the slot. And that will put the icing with 2:12 to go for New Trier.
Max, it's an unfortunate play. Sipe runs into Trapp as that play develops and just wide open in front. That got wide open in front was Chong to tap that in, and you can see right there Sipe. He's trying to be aggressive on that play, and doing so he hits Trapp and kind of pushes his goalie out of position. Trapp does his best attempt to recover, but in desperation mode, as you can see right there, Dylan.
Guys, that's going to send a lot of students wearing white to the exits to try to beat the traffic.
There was a moment where they started to fight back. The power play goal from Bane. But just that kind of night. Empty net now for Loyola. Here in the final 90 or 100 seconds or so, trying to see if they can make something happen. Savino, backhand off the glass, gets a good bounce, so it's able to clear. And it doesn't look like it's going to make it far enough for icing. Steele catches up with it. Wolf had to pressure him from behind. Baker's chip off the boards, not able to get it far enough. A fortunate deflection for, thought we would have gotten icing waves. I thought that hit a Loyola player. break here for Loyola as they're going to get an offensive zone draw.
Yeah, Max, surprised that the refs weren't able to pick that up, but Jack Savino, the captain, trying to get his name on the score sheet here as he sends that puck down. Unfortunately, misses the net, and the Ramblers have an offensive zone faceoff.
Minute 20 to go. Sipe at the point. Played out, empty net. Trying to find one more is Pedraja. Baker checked off the puck. Bane within the slot. Bane shoots. Savino kicks it away from danger. Steele checks Randall. Centering pass, not able to get a shot off was Joe Bear. Final minute. Gets a deflection side of the net from Baker, but wouldn't go on net. Cleared once more. That one riding the edge will get far enough for a icing. So with 46 to go, offensive zone draw.
Yeah, the New Trier faithful can start to feel it. That fourth goal, as you mentioned, Max, is the icing on the cake as we wind down here to almost less than 45 seconds left in this game. And you can see the energy on the bench for New Trier. They're feeling it. The coaching staff's feeling it. It feels like a back-to-back SHL championship win for the Trevians.
Messina with the puck in the corner. Look, Nicky. Messina once more. Sipe with the shot. A lot of traffic in front. Still bouncing around. Schmidt drops the glove on it. A little bit of pushing and shoving after. I don't know about you, Wes. I just don't think this is the end of this matchup for this season for these two. We mentioned the possibility for upsets, but for my money, these have been the best two teams in the state all season long.
Max, I have to agree with you there. And as you mentioned before, I wouldn't be surprised if we see these two teams back at it again on the ice at the United Center in a couple of weeks.
Joe Bear still playing hard. Shot from Finnegan, blocked out in front. Olsen. It's a deflection, centering pass. Schmidt turns it aside. Bane below the goal in the final 15. Here's Sipe, far half wall, deflected back door, waiting for it with Steele, but couldn't get a stick on it. In towards Schmidt, now Bane, point blank, follow-up chance, Steele, final couple of seconds, a mad scramble, and they score! A goal scored, .2 is on the clock. I think there will be more than that added. And some pushing and shoving at the end, but don't know that there will be enough time put back on the clock for it to matter. Saw a point from the referee. I haven't seen a follow-up, but I think you saw what I saw, right, Wes? I thought I saw the referee pointing.
Yeah, Max, it looks like Chris Sipe at the back end right there taps that end with a little bit
I think he was pointing at the net. Excuse me.
Yeah, he was pointing. Or maybe not as. Doesn't look like they're gonna.
So with .2 left, virtually impossible. Back-to-back champs are New Trier Green, winners of the Scholastic Cup.
Max, what a great team win it was again here for the Trevians, as you mentioned, back-to-back SHL champions here tonight, and they're going to look to add on here in a couple weeks too with another state championship as we're going to see the teams shake hands here at center ice.
A hard-fought game. It was a goal with about 5 minutes left in the third period that narrowed the margin to 1, but a mad scramble after a collision between Trapp and one of his defensemen led to the game-sealing goal from Chong. 4-2 the final. New Trier winning 3 out of the 4 matchups against the Trevians, against the Ramblers in this SHL season. We'll have the cup presentation, the Scholastic Cup presentation here in just a moment. Dylan Ward down on ice level. I'm sure he'll get some sound from the winning coaches and some winning players. Like Dylan was talking about earlier, the standard of excellence, the championships, the tournament wins continue to pile up for Adam Cheris and these New Trier Trevians.
I mean, what, 2 Scholastic Cups in 2 years. You got to think he's batting 1,000 right now.
All right, we're going to send it down to ice level. Dylan Warrens with Aiden Nolan. Dylan.
Thanks, guys. Aiden, you got the third goal in this game. It ended up being the game winner, your team leading 7th goal of the SHL playoffs, and now you're champions. How does it feel?
I mean, it feels great. I mean, after the first game against Loyola, everyone was thinking that we weren't what we were last year, but then it was like our Barrington game. Last year we lost to Barrington, turned it around, won everything. So I think that was our turning point, and I think we're showing it now that we're the best team in the state.
Last year, you guys won the SHL final like 4 days before the United Center game. Now you have a little bit of breathing room. Big game against Lake Forest on Sunday. Is it just a lot better to have a lot more time to prepare for that?
Yeah, it's better to have time to prepare, but I mean, we treat every game the same way anyways, so we're going to have games once a week about anyways, so I don't think it makes that big of a difference, but it'll be nice to get a little break.
All right, go celebrate, man. Congratulations. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Dylan, as the Scholastic Cup being presented to the Trevians. Back-to-back, 6 and 9 years. A happy bunch of humans down on the ice, Wes. That does it for the SHL season. We'll turn our attention now to state playoffs, that Elite 8 coming up on Sunday. You'll be a part of, I believe, the first 2 games that day. Do I have that right?
Yeah, I have first 2. I'm not exactly sure which ones those are, but the matchups are exciting. It's going to be a crazy Sunday. 4 great games. As we mentioned before, all 8 SHL teams will be participating in the Elite 8, so a lot of familiarity there, and it's going to be a fun day, Max.
Yeah, we might have to shoot Jimmy with some adrenaline between games 2 and 3, keep him alive. It's going to be a long day for Jimmy the Wiz, but we know he can do it like he always does.
A few Starbucks orders for Jimmy on Sunday.
We'll keep him cooking, but we'll send it right back down to the ice level. Dylan Ward as the Scholastic Cup winning coach, Adam Charis.
Thanks, guys. Coach, you come in here, first-year head coach last year. You win the SHL Cup and the state championship. Well, you've done half of what you did last year so far tonight. Another half will be at the United Center in March.
Yeah, you know, it's awesome. It's an awesome group of guys. Totally different team than last year. Whole different dynamic, but they're showing what they show, which is a hard fight. When things are tight, they step it up. They got a whole nother gear. I love it. These guys are fired up. We talked between periods, you know, how they're going to find their legs again. Mentioned to them that, hey, this is the last game you seniors are playing in this building. A lot of you guys grew up playing here. You want to go out on top, and you saw them light up. They were ready to go in the third. They had a great third period. All credit to Loyola, great team. You know, every game against them is always going to be like this. The emotions are high, but, man, that's what it's all about.
Last year, you won the SHL on a Wednesday and then won the state championship the following Sunday. You get a little bit more breathing room this time around. How are you going to use that to your advantage?
Yeah, definitely. Last year was hectic. We really didn't want to play that game on that Wednesday. It was so hard knowing that we had to play Sunday. You don't want to lose guys. You don't want to have injuries. So we got time to really work through it, get our lineup the way we want it, use the time effectively. You know, we got some guys banged up, so, rest up. Have a couple skates this week, get ready for Sunday, and, just keep mapping it out. But we got to take care of Lake Forest first. They're a good team this year. I respect Steve and what he's done with them, so we're fired up for them as well.
And we'll see you on Sunday right on the SHL Network. Congratulations again.
Thanks, Dylan. I appreciate it.
Guys, back to you.
Hey, Dylan, great work all evening long. Of course, was on the call for the AHL game as well. Everything he does on the network for the Instagram and everything, he is a true professional that we get to work with here on a day-in, day-out basis, so big thank you to him. Wes, parting thoughts.
It's another great game between 2 great rivals, 2 of the best teams in the state, 2 teams that we are sure to see again down the line, not only in the Elite 8, but hopefully in the Final 4 for state. And just another great season in the SHL, Max.
That will do it officially for the SHL Game of the Week and the SHL Network. Games will still be right here on the SHL Network YouTube channel through the state championship. We use this channel throughout the rest of the playoffs, but officially that is the end of the SHL hockey season. Once again, we thank you for being tuned in with us the entire season long. Big thank you, big crew today. We've got Joel Schneider, who's down on the corner cam, Matt Freeman, who did every single SHL Network broadcast this season. Folks, it ain't easy to find cameramen. I'll just be honest. Matt Freeman is as good and reliable as they come, so a big thank you to him. Of course, we had Gerard Boris helping out Jimmy the Wiz Olsen today. Big thank you to Gerard. He's been helpful unbelievable amount of things. He's inspired the more crowd mics, the different kinds of cameras. Big thank you to Gerard and all his help. Of course, Jimmy the Wiz Olsen, guy gets it done. Guy built a computer for you all so you could watch in even higher quality. He is truly the best of the best. Of course, Dylan Ward was down on ice level. Wes Anderson was to my left. I am Max Anderson. Thank you so much for tuning in with us. Come right back on Sunday. We've got 4 Elite 8 hockey games coming up. But until then, we bid you good day. Have a good evening. We'll talk to you on Sunday.